What's up, guys? Back at it here with another sit-down video, and this one is going to be a special video as it's titled, I'm calling you out, Retro Rick, Phoenix Resale, and all you other resellers, because we're going to talk about what has happened and why it's gotten so out of control with collectibles, trading cards, electronics, games, etc., etc. We're going to talk about all of that. And now, I don't have any ill will against some of them, like Retro Rick. I believe he's a collector at heart, and I got mad respect that he's running a business. But what I don't like is all of these resellers out there telling people how to put themselves out of business. And they're contributing to what's going on, the inflation, the out of control pricing. It has nothing to do with politics, whether you're on the left or the right. It all has to do with what has happened within the last few years with YouTube, resellers, and the sourcing, thrift stores like Goodwill, Savers, Value Village, Deseret Industries, all those guys. So with that being said, we're going to talk about that today. So, when did this all start? First of all, guys like Rick, Tendo, all you guys, you didn't even know I existed because I've been doing this a long time before you. And most of these guys started out in like 2018, 2019 with their videos and everything. You can look them up on YouTube. And I did. All their videos started around then. I've been doing this as a collector. Like, I do it for the passion. I buy Ninja Turtle stuff because I like Ninja Turtles. I grew up with Ninja Turtles. I like Power Rangers because I grew up with them. I'm not here to sit here and buy a Power Rangers toy to flip for some money like Phoenix Resale. I don't like that, where he's bragging about how he's buying games and flipping them for money. But I've been doing this as a collector since 2015. I think I had my first pickup in 2014. And I'm going to show you a few things that I've gotten at Goodwill. Some of the things that you wouldn't believe were at a thrift store. What I picked up specifically at Goodwill. So I'll show you a few things here. A few toys in a game. So this is the first one. This is a dark-faced Grizzlor. Right here. This is a rare He-Man figure because has the dark coloration. The original Grizzlor's lighter. His fur's lighter. His skin's lighter. So this one's rare. And that was picked up in a grab bag of He-Man stuff for like $5. And this was years ago. Now, believe it or not, you and sealed video games, how that, that bullshit has basically caused sealed games to skyrocket in price, if not artificially inflated. Well, you actually used to find sealed games at Goodwill. And this is one of my best ones. This is a sealed copy. You can see it sealed. You have the original PlayStation label here. This is a sealed copy of Gungrave for the PS2. I did pay a little bit for it. Even then, $7. But then again, it's a sealed, rare PS2 game. I know that one's expensive, even opened. But that was, Goodwill used to have games. And this is the last one. This is probably, like I said, I'm a big TMNT guy. I saw this. I couldn't believe I found it. This is Shogun Triceraton. This is from the later era of Ninja Turtles. Very rare. One of probably the rarest figures in the series. And believe it or not, I got him in a grab bag at Goodwill for like $4. So he was probably less than $2 when I broke down every action figure that I got. Like I said, I'm not here to resell, but those are things I used to find, and I'd go out on my days off from work, and I'd be like, oh shit, I spent too much money, and my car was filled with toys and things. I'd go out to like 20 or 30 Goodwills, and I'd find shit. It's like now, you don't find anything. And we're going to talk about why that is now. And that's because of guys like Phoenix Resale, Retro Rick, Tendo, Pixel Gaming Squad, Lore Legends, because they make these videos and they get the hype out. It's like saying you've got a fishing spot that you catch unbelievable amounts of fish. And like I said, I had a sweet spot. I find toys and things at Goodwill. But what they're doing is they're making videos and they're telling people how to do it. So guess what? You show up to your fishing spot and everybody and their brothers out there with their poles in the water. What do you think is going to happen? And then the owners of the lake sit here and say, oh no, we need to capitalize on that. So you've got guys like Retro Rick who's, you know, they basically tell people, hey, you can start with $10. $10 and end up with a whole, you know, within 6 months you'll have a whole collection of N64 stuff or PlayStation, sourcing through Goodwill pawn shops and things like that. Well, that might have been truthful 5 years ago, but you can't do that now. You got guys like Phoenix Resale. I really don't like Resale. Phoenix Resale. He's arrogant. He flips. It's all about the money. He doesn't collect. And I don't like guys like that, especially when they're going to Walmart and they're buying fucking games. They're going flip on Amazon. He just brags about it. And then it causes prices to go up because Walmart's selling the game for like $20 and then Phoenix Resale will buy it and then flip it on Amazon. He even goes into fucking game stores and buys stuff from them and they flip it. So, you know, I don't like it. And then Tendo, he really caused things to change at Goodwill here because he lived in Arizona and he really caused Goodwill, you know, he's putting out videos, oh, I'm finding this, I'm doing that here. You can sell things in an antique mall or booth. You know, even though like Tendo buys mostly junk. You know, it's like Furbies. I didn't personally collect Furbies, but he caused the price of Furbies to go up with his videos. And Bratz dolls. Everybody's looking. Everybody's going out to the thrift stores now. So when they make these videos, you know, it really causes that hype. And then you've got other guys, I'm going to call him out, Leonhardt. He's, you know, sitting there opening packs of Pokemon cards. You know. And so, and not just Pokemon cards, like base set first edition packs, base set packs, Fossil, Neo Destiny, Neo Genesis, all these rare packs. And what do you think's happening when Leonhardt opens up a pack of cards? Every time he opens up a sealed pack, right, it causes the price to go up because now there's less supply. It's simple economics, right? If I only have, because there's only a finite amount of these cards left sealed. So every time Leonhardt opens a pack of cards, it causes the price to go up. Some people don't realize that. Like now you have to be like super rich to be in the Pokemon card game. And you look at Leonhardt, you know, he was a lawyer. He was an attorney. It's a little background on him. So he was an attorney in Texas. I don't know exactly what area of law he practiced, but those guys make pretty good money. 6 figures. And you do have to go to school, and there's a lot of work to it. But he was an attorney, and then he started doing YouTube part-time, and then he quit his job as a respected attorney to open Pokemon cards on YouTube. You know, he capitalized, he made money, and then he fucked everybody else over because he caused the prices to go up. So the people that want to get into the hobby can't because everything's so expensive. And I think Logan Paul with Pokemon cards really caused that to go over a cliff. And it kind of disgusted me. Because, you know, now people were getting in fights at Target over Pokemon cards. And then you got people, like, I've seen the videos. You gotta see them. People are just grabbing, you know, every single thing they can on the shelf. So what does Target do? They say, oh, we can't deal with this anymore for safety, for security. We are no longer selling Pokemon cards in the store. So it's just gotten that bad. And then you got fucking people that are in their 30s fucking tearing the shelves up in Target looking for shit that's falling under the shelves. And then, you know, people are buying the action figures at a Walmart to flip on eBay. It's crazy. So people can't even get things at a good price anymore. So that was really bad. So that's part of the problem. You know, is that you've got all these people, and then you got resellers that now they know. So you, not only is it YouTube, that's one part of it. Then you got resellers. So you got people like Phoenix Resale. They don't, you know, other people that just don't give a shit. They just know, oh yeah, I can take this. This is worth money. I'm gonna buy it to flip it. Woohoo! You know, they don't care. Like I love He-Man. You know, I like the toy. I like the 80s style and look to it. You know, I didn't grow up with He-Man, but I think there's a really cool action figures. I display them on my shelf in my living room. But I hate it when people just buy something to flip on eBay. And now that you have all these, another component of it too is more people are holding on to their stuff. You know, it's not being donated anymore. It's not being put up for sale. So all these guys that are all the hype now, that this is because everybody's holding on to their shit. So what's the other part of this? Well, what's the other consequence of what Retro Rick and Tendo and all these guys, you know, what has caused the other half of this, you know, huge inflation? Well, Goodwill, Savers, all these guys, Value Village, they're sitting there saying, you know, just like the fishing analogy, all these people are fishing in the pond, they're catching these fish for free, or they're getting them for cheap. We need to get into this game. So Goodwill, you know, has said, hey, we need to start looking shit up. You know, we can't let a sealed copy of Gungrave go for $3. No, we need to look this shit up, and if it's something worth money, we're putting it on, we're going to emulate this. We're going to put it on our own site. Shop Goodwill. And so Goodwill now has their own eBay page. They have a YouTube channel. Gee, I wonder where they got that from. Guys like Retro Rick, guys like Phoenix Resale, guys like Craigslist Hunter, all these guys. They know, they want to get into the game. They're saying, why are we letting people get valuable stuff for nothing when we could be selling it and making a profit? So Goodwill is like, we want to get into this game. And so some of the things that, like I live in Arizona, and some of the things that Goodwill has done, they've gotten greedier. They, here at Goodwill used to have, and Tendo told everybody, oh yeah, we had the bins here, the bins. You'd have the toy bins for $1. Well, Goodwill got rid of the bins. Why? Because it, you know, they can sell a grab bag of toys for like $4 versus giving the stuff away for $0.25 a piece. Goodwill got rid of they used to have jewelry cases. I remember I'd come in, I'd see they'd have shit in the cases, Pokemon cards, video games. They had sealed Power Rangers toys in the box. Star Wars, you know, handbags, jewelry. They don't have any of that now. They took out the glass cases, and now they're putting everything online on their shop. They've got multiple shop Goodwill, and then they do videos about it. I mean, there's one on there where Goodwill talks about having a vinyl record expert. They have a vinyl record expert. Can you believe that? This is a thrift store. And then when you look at the simple economics of things, it's like, okay, guys like Retro Rick or resellers, they do have to pay for their stuff. And then they sell it for a price. They have that cost, just like with any other business, like Fallout games, right? They sell video games. But they have to buy them. And then they sell them for a profit. Well, Goodwill, you know, and they have their overhead, their lights, everything else, just like a business. Goodwill has all of that too, except they get all their shit for free at Goodwill. And Goodwill will sell it for at eBay or above eBay. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Goodwill will look at a game, like it's gotten so bad now that I was in my Goodwill down the street, and they had NBA Live 2006, an undesirable sports game. Are you smarter than a fifth grader for the Wii? Things that you couldn't even give away. They're asking $10, $9.29 for games. You used to be able to get games for $2-3. Now it's $9, $10. So that's some of the crazy things. And then Sega Dreamcast with 2 controllers. $350 at Savers. That was like a couple months ago I saw that. $350. I go to a retail outlet, Zia Records. Same Dreamcast, $110. They even had like a black one, $110. What the hell is going on with these thrift stores? They look at something, and this is what it is. They look at it, oh, it's a Dreamcast. We have to put a price. And the craziest thing is there's another reseller, I think his name is Thrifting Treasures. He showed a fucking Charmeleon base set card. A single card. It's not even, probably worth a few bucks. $699. I mean, what are they doing back there? Smoking pot? They're not even researching shit. Right? I'm going to give you another example. Let me go run and get it real quick here. Another thing is, too, is Goodwill is emulating product. They're selling things on eBay for at or above retail. And I want to give you another example, right, of what they're doing. So, this is real cool. It's a little PlayStation Slim, right? You know what? I got a better idea. I'm going to give you an example just on what I said a few minutes ago. We're going to talk about that notorious Dreamcast, right? Let's just use this as an example. This was I'm just saying, this is a Dreamcast that I bought at Goodwill. I paid under $20 for it. It came with all the cords and everything, and it even had Sonic Adventure inside. It had a game inside. $20. That same Dreamcast at that Savers, not the same one, but a Dreamcast, they were asking $350. Here's the other thing. They don't test it to see if it fully works. They don't plug it in. They don't play a game to make sure it reads the disc. But they're going to put a $350 price tag on something that they have not fully tested. What the hell is going on with them? So, it's like, and they do that with electronics. They'll get a VCR. One example was, there was a VCR. I do VCR repair as a hobby. They had a VCR over at Savers. It had a $4.99 ticket on there. Not able to scan it. And this is how greedy these people are getting. I took it over the register to buy it. I put a tape in to see if it worked. It ate the tape. The tape was stuck in the VCR, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy the tape. I was going to buy that tape. It was like a Pee Wee Herman tape. And I was going to buy the tape with the VCR because I knew what was wrong with it. So the tape was $1. The VCR was priced at $4.99. So I'm going up to the register and I'm trying to scan it, and it won't scan. So I asked the lady for help. She looks at it and says, no, that's not the price. That's not the price. So she goes and grabs the people in the back, the processors, and she knows that it's broke. She sees that it's broke because there's a fucking tape stuck in it. And this VCR is probably from like 1985. I like to do work with older VCRs. So this is a 30-year-old unit that's not working. And so the processor comes out, puts a fucking $29.99 sticker on it. On something that's broke. And to top it off, they don't have a return policy. You buy it, it's yours. You can exchange clothes, but anything else you can't return. Goodwill, 7 days, but it's only store credit. So that's just how greedy they are. And, they have a website for Shop Goodwill. They do YouTube now. Like I said, they get this all from these resellers. So they're trying to get into the game, and they kind of do it like half-assed. There are people in the back, they don't know how to price things properly. or they're overzealous. They see something, oh, it's old. They just put a high price tag on. They don't even research it, like the Charmeleon card. I mean, and that's on Thrifting Treasures YouTube page. So they do all of that, and then it's like, at some of the ones in Mesa now, they're not like, it's like they're not even putting games out anymore. They're sending them all online, and this was another thing I sourced through Phoenix Resale. Goodwill has their own fucking video game store. They have a physical location where they sell nothing but video games. I mean, it's just ridiculous. They have gotten so out of hand at these thrift stores. They get shit for free, and then they go and they sell it. But why did they do that? Well, that's because of resellers like Rick and Tendo and Paul and Reset Phoenix. All these guys that go out and they make YouTube videos, and then they let the secret out. So what does Goodwill do? We want to get in on this now, and it's like now you can't find anything because everything's being put online. And what I've noticed lately too is they're not getting the donations in like they used to. And why is that? Well, there's a lot of pushback, and I'm glad that there is. People see this, and here in Arizona too, like I said, they got rid of the jewelry cases, they got rid of the bins. Dollar days are now $2 days. They don't have 50% off sales anymore either, because they want to be greedy. They'll lose money doing those sales. So there's pushback. There's pushback now from people. They're not donating this stuff because they know it's not going towards a good cause. It's like, why am I donating stuff that people, they're going to sell and flip for a profit? There's a lot of pushback. They know, too, thrift stores are supposed to be there to help people, who can't afford to buy new things in the store. That's what a thrift store is. It's a secondhand store, but yet Goodwill, Savers, they think they're like the next Sotheby's. But there's a lot of pushback, so people aren't donating as much. As at the same time, there are other factors. You've got more people holding on to their stuff. There's more collectors out there now because of the big YouTube movement. And the reality is too, as time goes by, less and less closets are being cleaned out and less things are being donated. So you're going to have that too, but there is a lot of pushback. Another thing I noticed about Goodwill is they're a non-profit, right? Goodwill's a non-profit. And even though they sell things, a non-profit means it's a business that basically takes whatever profit they have and it goes back into the business. The Goodwill is charitable thing is helping people with disabilities find work. They're supposed to have career centers where people can go in and use the computers and get help with resumes and things like that. And I've noticed that more and more of these career centers are being closed down. There's not one at any of the Goodwills anymore. So what the hell's going on? It's just they're getting greedy. But it's an unfortunate thing what has happened. I really think, like, and the resellers say, well, it's all the resellers' fault. Goodwill's been doing this for years. I'm like, no, it's only happened within the last few years where they've really, because, the reality is eBay's been here since the 90s. You could sell things online for a long time. It's just all of a suddenly now it's gotten worse, and it's really unfortunate. And you've seen a lot more, like I've seen more places, more new toy stores and collectible shops open, and it's really unfortunate what has happened. And you've got guys, and like I said, Retro Rick has enriched himself. He's able to buy an existing business. That's not cheap. He's enriched himself. Retro Rick has enriched himself off of YouTube and all of this, and then he's left all the guys that collect on the ground. It's like, you can't find shit anymore. Oh, well, you can go to Retro Rick's store and buy it for 3 times what you used to get it at Goodwill for. But, he's basically kind of enriched himself. He's created a monopoly. And it's the same thing for Phoenix Resale, you know. It's like now you're not finding shit at pawn shops because, oh yeah, I found this game at the pawn store here and now I'm selling it for $40. Well, guess what? Pawn shops are raising their prices now. They're looking shit up. You guys got like Tendo. Oh yeah, go to the bins. We can, you know. And it's like they're enriching us, and especially like Leonhardt, man. I mean, Leonhardt probably has $1 million in the bank. He's enriched himself. Number one, by decreasing the supply of rare cards and packs. And he's enriched himself. And then the money that he makes so much fucking money on YouTube, he has the luxury to quit his job as an attorney. You know, and it's like, don't even get me started with all the other stuff that he, you know, with those boxes, you know, and then he's able to do that business where he sells those boxes and there's nothing but shit in them. He got a lot of pushback for that. But the dude's enriched himself, and now the Pokemon card market is like, you know, it's a new commodity, like diamonds and gold, and, you know, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Now it's Pokemon cards are the new, you know, you have to be ultra rich to get Pokemon cards. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. But, you know, guys like him and Logan, and it's like, so they just, you know, I feel like resellers have kind of ruined the hobby because it used to be affordable. It used to be passionate, brought a lot of people in. You know, it's like, and that's another, that collectibles guru guy, he's a total fucking asshole. He was a guy that Logan Paul deals with, and there was that scam with the fake cards. And that dude clearly, you know, and that's one example. He's a fucking reseller. He's fucking scum. And he you know, he was involved with that shoddy deal with Paul. And, you know, fake boot, you know, and Leonhardt and all them were there, and they opened the fucking box, and there's fake cards in there. You know, you got guys like that where they don't care about, you know, they didn't grow up with Pokemon as a kid. They didn't care about it. All they care about is flipping it and making money, and those are the guys now involved with this. And, you know, and it's like, you don't and they don't even have to be an expert. You also have that technology. They you know, it's like I said, I got a passion. I know what I'm looking for, but the average person now has what's called a smartphone, and they can take a picture. Ooh, this looks neat. Let me take a picture of it. And it will tell them what it is, all about the item. They have the whole world in their fingertips. So it's like you can be an expert in what you do, but now you've got all this competition because everybody has a phone. Everybody has the knowledge at their fingertips. But it's really an unfortunate thing, and I believe these guys have really ruined, you know, thrifting and collecting. You know, I feel like guys like Rick have enriched themselves, all while leaving the true hobbyists, you know, up a creek. Now it's like toys and games are like the equivalent of diamonds and gold, and it's just gotten so out of control. But I really wanted to call these guys out. And like I said, if anybody wants to have a civil discussion about this or debate, I'm more than welcome to talk about it. But like I said, I personally feel like the whole YouTube movement has really disrupted the collector hobby. It's no longer fun. You don't find the stuff that you used to, and everything's overpriced or overinflated. But with that being said, that's what I want to conclude you guys with on this video. I wanted to call out guys like Retro Rick, Phoenix Resale, Tendo, Dallas Lee Blanton is his name, Pixel Gaming Squad, Lore Legends, all these guys, you know, that have basically caused this whole movement, caused inflation, caused thrift stores to kind of get into the game. So it's kind of disappointing, and I just wanted to call people out on this video.